everybody. Today I'm going to take a look at, yeah, I can't believe it either, Masters of the Universe Origins Roton. A toy that probably annoyed more parents than we want to admit. This is a little different. This has, I don't really understand why they have these extra add-ons of the top here and the face on the front. I'm a little perplexed by that because the original was just there. Was that was it. That's all you needed. I mean, you had that, two guns, squat Skeletor right there, and boom, 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 boom. I always did like this as a kid. I thought this was a fun toy, mostly because of that spin around action. I remember in the cartoon they made it fly. I was always perplexed by that, but I thought it was funny at the same time. And I bought this for like clearance. I think it was around $10. I mean, I think this was originally $30, which is way overpriced. Way overpriced. This is pretty cheap. It's very hollow. Trying to get a point where you can tell. I mean, it's very hollow. It's very thin plastic. So there's nothing there. And these little add-ons don't do much. They're just kind of there. I don't like having the accessories to my vehicles either. But it is $10. I thought I'd give it a look. I need to pull out my old one. I think this one is a little bigger though. It definitely looks a little bigger. I haven't pulled up. My old one is kind of indisposed right now. I did want to get it out for this, but that's okay. Then again, the Origins figures are bigger, so that kind of stands to reason this would be bigger. I noticed too, they don't have the clamps anymore. They just have a peg to toss them in, which I guess makes sense because those pegs could break. Those things could break. I mean, the pegs are going to hold up better. So, you know, I can understand that as well. And I don't know. It's like, is $10 worth your nostalgia? Is that what we're selling it for now? $30 wasn't. So maybe $10 is. You know, I think the only reason I bought this was because I had the old one and I just wanted to kind of look at it. Not even to compare it, but just to kind of get an idea of it compared to the other one. And I don't hate it, not in the slightest. But, you know, it made me realize I'm not going to go out of my way to get Masters of the Universe Origins vehicles and playsets. I passed on the Castle Grayskull, I passed on Snake Mountain. And it's not that I don't like those things, I love them. But, you know, at the same time, I'm like, I got the originals, and gosh, when you got the originals, what's the point, right? You know, the originals, nothing will measure up, even if you have more play features and more play value in the newer ones. It's like, and I think this proves it with this little cap here. It's supposed to be more play value, and it's like, you know, I just think it's kind of weak. What does Skeletor care about protection for his drivers, right? And I mean, you know, I do feel this rush of, for lack of a better term, the nostalgic throwbacks is winding down. I kind of sense it in everything I see. It's like there's not as much enthusiasm, there's not as much oomph, there's not as much, you know, now it's like, how much money can we get out of this before we have to shut it down? Now, don't get me wrong, I think He-Man has a few miles to go. And I think G.I. Joe has a few miles to go, but it's going to get pretty soon that those two are going to start losing steam. Unless they come up with something vastly different that I'm not seeing. I don't see it happening, but I can, you know, it's possible. Looking around the room. You know, Marvel Legends can probably keep going with some more modern stuff, maybe, and, you know, they can kind of dip in and out, and then, you know, you always got the MCU projects. So that's always a plus for them. And, I mean, let's face it, X-Men 97's been going good. Deadpool and Wolverine's going to be awesome. So I don't see that slowing down. DC, on the other hand, I'm perplexed by the people that love Todd McFarlane, but at the same time, it's like, I don't see that going very much farther. I'm just trying to think of nostalgia stuff. And be honest, like most of the DC stuff is nostalgia, as is most of the Masters of the Universe. Turtles, well, I think Turtles got a few more miles than Masters. I mean, I think the nostalgia's gonna die out as it progresses. You know, it's gonna be like Joe and Masters are gonna go first, and then they're gonna get shut down. Then Turtles are gonna shut down. Turtles is trying hard to reinvent itself, though, so, you know, they might strike gold with that. It's hard to say. They might not. You know, we've all thought Thundercats had it, we all thought He-Man had it, and then that went under. But, you know, at the same time, we're kind of doing nostalgia for nostalgia, if you think about it, because it's like, you have Joe really had that resurgence about 2005 and 6, and then it kept going for several years. You know, almost all of this is nostalgia for that, so it's like we're nostalgia over nostalgia. And that's gonna wear thin quicker. Especially since, you know, we're not getting any younger, guys. I know I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this ain't a game for spring chickens anymore. You know, Star Wars needs to figure out how to bring in new kids, because, you know, the parents are going to age out. I mean, by age out, I mean be in the cemetery. And, you know, Turtles is at least trying. I give them cred. Give Turtles a lot of cred. The others, I mean, wow, you know, nobody's done anything with Universal Monsters in so long. But Masters, I'm surprised this is I'll be honest, I'm surprised this has lasted as long as it has, because when I really saw this coming up and I was realizing we're doing nostalgia for nostalgia, I really thought Masters would die out within a year, and it didn't. There was a lot of very hardcore fans still in the game, so that's kept it going. But again, how much you got? I mean, my God, they're producing so many lines, and I mean, they have had cancellations, of course, but, you know, this clearancing out stuff, that's going to be the test. After this is like going to be, okay, who's going to survive this next onslaught? And, well, I think we might be surprised. Then again, we might not. You never know. But anyway, that is going to wrap things up for this look at nostalgia and look at the Roton. Because it did bring me back to being a kid and of this thing. And I always thought the front looked like a cat. Actually, I thought it looked like my cat. I had a solid black cat. No, she did not have red eyes. She had green eyes. But, you know, I always thought it kind of looked like my cat when she was angry. But anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to do all the YouTube stuffs. See ya.